Do you want to learn how to draw original characters? Well, let me show you using 3 levels of difficulty, starting with
Stage 1, a beginner level. Now, you might be decent at being able to draw people, animals, and other things on a basic level, but you want to move away from either reference drawing or just copy-pasting the same guy that you've learned to draw through one tutorial. Well, boy, do I have a solution for you! Take a potato, a pigeon head, human feet, and what do you get? An unholy abomination! But hey, at least it's your own original abomination. You see, this is a method I like to call a blender mode, where you can let go of any restrictions and simply pick and choose different human, animal, or natural features and mix and match them together to create something new, something goofy but quite original. At this stage, you don't even have to worry about the lore of the character's background necessarily. It is simply a fun exercise to help you let go of any preconceived notion of how to create an original character and make you more confident at improvising and coming up with wacky characters that have a unique look and personality, just by remixing different aspects of what we encounter in the real world.
But perhaps you want to go a little deeper. Well, let's move on to
Stage 2, intermediate level, where let's say we have a character design that we like, but we want to make them more fleshed out in terms of who they are as an individual.
Well, we can start thinking about their life, goals, aspirations, moral character, habits and behavior, and then start translating all of those characteristics onto a piece of paper.
By way of changing our character's posture and default expression to make them look heroic, maybe adding a battle scar or two, to indicate past experiences that were violent in nature, adding certain props and accessories to suggest their occupation and their hobbies. You see, this is all to create a more grounded design of your character by weaving a story about themselves, with the help of adding these details like scars, accessories, weapons, or instruments, and also by changing their posture, expression, and also by manipulating the proportions to show their habits. And you can do this with any of your original character designs that may start with no clear personality or background and simply an interesting shape that you like, but then change and evolve into deeper and fleshed out renderings of who they are as a person by means of adding all of the previously mentioned features that create a certain story about them, which can be heroic, evil, or neutral, depending on a narrative about them that can be readable to even an outside viewer without necessarily knowing all of the hidden meanings behind your ideas and the features with which you've enhanced your characters.
But by God, now you are hooked and you want more depth, more lore for sure to explore your character's core.
This is where the cookie crumbles into many pieces. And by that I mean not only do we get to flesh out our character design through the previously mentioned additional features and enhancements, but also we extend further into our character's surroundings and meet their companions, their adversaries. For instance, the instrument that they carry with them at all times might have been a gift from their dear friend, who is a master craftsman, with which you have managed to catch the attention of a noble-born maiden that has visited your town, who happens to be pursued by another more deviant character, who plans to overthrow their authority by any means necessary. And look, now all of a sudden you are building a blueprint for a potential story just by adding peripheral characters, or NPCs if you will, to your main character. Now, this may seem quite hard to do by yourself, coming up with the cast of characters that have their own intentions and motivations, but not to worry. You can and should take inspiration from pre-existing stories from great writers of the past, myths and legends from ancient civilizations and cultures, or from the events of the recent history that have already compelling story structures.
You may even dare and reinterpret them to some extent to create an alternative storyline, just like the creator of Olympus Lore, which is a hugely successful webtoon comic created by Rachel Smythe. Which leads me to ask you, in the name of all this holy and good, why ever should we stop here?
And by that, I mean literally creating not only your original character, their background, and their surrounding characters, but also the world that they live in and its entire origin and mythology. Here is where you essentially become the creator of a brand new world that has its beginning, several key epochs and eras, the current timeline of your original character, and a potential end to this entire universe that may or may not transcend into a new timeline of the new incarnation of your universe. Okay, bye!